Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about Ayurvedic secrets to radiant skin. And this is a really interesting topic because Ayurveda views skin in a different way from other sciences and other modalities, and it's really related to our overall health. So we will just dig deep into why skin health and digestion are related, while overall health and digestion and skin health are related, and discuss all those points in real details.
Yeah, I think that'd be really interesting, Maria. And because in Ayurveda, like you say, everybody talks about the connection between our digestion and our overall skin health. So can you just explain a little bit from an Ayurvedic perspective why it's so important?
Yes, of course. So when we consume any kind of food, so anything we consume, our digestive fire needs to digest it to the to molecules which can be absorbed into our body. So that state of digestive fire, if the digestive fire is too low, then it's unable to digest and absorb the food.
Yeah, so that's really interesting because in Ayurveda, really the focus is all around digestion, and you wouldn't necessarily connect that to skin health. But how would you explain that from an Ayurvedic perspective?
Sure. So in Ayurveda, digestive fire is required to uh, digest and assimilate anything that we consume, including food and liquids. So if our digestive fire is strong and balanced, then we are able to digest anything. And we don't even need to worry that much about what we eat because we are able to digest heavier foods, not so healthy foods, anything that we eat, our body is able to digest, take the essence out of it, and absorb it. If our digestive fire is weak, then the food is not getting digested properly and toxins can be accumulating. Then we can gain weight from food or not get enough nutrients out of the food we eat. It's just because the digestive fire is not strong enough to be able to really extract the nutrients from the food. And if the digestive fire is far too strong, then these people can have many meals, and what happens? They're really kind of dry that food out. It just gets digested so quickly that it kind of burns. And because of this, nutrients also burn. It's like cooking your meat on extra high fire, like on the extra high heat setting, and then it just burns, so it doesn't get to the right ripeness, um, and that's why the nutrients they get are also diminished. So the ideal is to get that balanced digestive fire, and that's what Ayurveda is all about. All health is about good digestive fire.
Yeah, so not too fast and not too slow, just like on a steady simmer, and that way everything you're taking in is assimilated and the body receives all the nutrients it needs, which in turn then gives you a radiant complexion. So how would you describe that that assimilated food? Like that state of the body where it's able to really digest that food in a really great way, and how does that go into the body from an Ayurvedic perspective? What does that look like?
Yes, okay. So in order to be able to absorb that food, so digestive fire uh, digests the food, so it breaks it down, and then to assimilate it, it needs to get into a certain state, and that's what Ayurveda calls rasa dhatu, is that liquid portion of food which is ready for absorption. And in Ayurveda, there are 7 dhatus, or 7 tissues in the body. They are rasa, which is this liquid portion of food, and rakta, which is blood, mamsa, which is muscle, meda, which is fat, asti, bones, Majja, nervous tissue, and the reproductive tissue, which is shukra. So the rasa dhatu is the first one which is formed from the liquid portion of food, and that gets distributed all over the body. It also can be compared to lymph or blood plasma, which is not really correct. The lymph is not really a correct term, but it's closely related to liquid portion of blood. And what it does, it's quite watery, and it nourishes our body. It gives the nourishment to each and every cell of the body, travels through all entire body and gives nourishment. So that's the purpose of that rasa dhatu. And after that nourishment is given to each and every cell in the body, then it also feeds the other tissues. So it's the base to feed the other tissues, 7 tissues of the body.
Wow. It's really important then. So having a high quality rasa dhatu is absolutely essential. So how do we connect rasa dhatu to our radiant skin then? So what's the connection between that?
Yes, there's in Ayurveda there is a concept called dhatu sara, and it means that the excellence of tissues. And you can tell the excellence of the tissues. So obviously, ancient people, they could not use the high technology that we can use today to look inside of the body. So they would determine the health of the person by looking at the outside. And they had really advanced techniques for that. So one of the techniques in Ayurveda is that the rasa dhatu, to establish the quality of rasa dhatu, is what we do. We look at the excellence of this tissue by looking at the skin. Skin and also the membranes. So looking at the lips, for example, if the lips are nicely moist, they are looking healthy, then the rasa dhatu is good. But if they're cracked, then the rasa dhatu is diminished. And same for the skin. If the skin is really excellently, it's slightly oily, it's looking so healthy, it also shows the excellence of this rasa dhatu. Also, the hair, like the follicles, that has to be oily and too dry. That's also a sign of good rasa dhatu.
Oh wow, so interesting. I think I can completely relate to that after doing a cleanse. So after cleansing the body and I guess looking after that digestive fire that you've just spoken about and putting good things in, there's like a luminous glow about my skin. There's like a radiance kind of coming from within, and I guess that's what you're talking about there. So the telltale signs for possibly not assimilating and not having the highest quality rasa dhatu are dryness of the lips, like a dull skin, like grey looking skin that's like feeling, maybe looking really dry or cracked, or and then hair that's possibly, would it be like dandruff and that sort of thing, or would it just be looking really dry and dull?
It's more just dryness. Yeah, more just dryness. But there are also 2 different conditions. Like it can be rasa dhatu kshaya, where the rasa dhatu gets really diminished, and there can be excess of rasa dhatu. So if it's a rasa dhatu kshaya, then that we get the symptoms of dryness and dullness. It's kind of, you get insufficient nourishment, and that's the tell signs. So you look at the membranes, they're dry. Eyes as well, the eye membranes can be dry. The skin is dull and not glowing. It's a sign that you're not getting right nutrition, or potentially that your digestive fire is weak.
Okay.
And so your vata will be, and that's why we talk so much about vata, because these tell signs are also showing the excess of aggravated. They will be highly connected. And the opposite is that the rasa dhatu is in excess, but the quality of rasa dhatu is not good. So it's excess. So tell signs will be that the skin is getting overly oily, and it can get even congested. The lymph will start accumulating, and maybe you will have puffy face. you may have a tendency to weight gain as well. So that's overnutrition, overnourishment, but not in a good way. So again, it's imbalanced. You
Right.
either to look after your acne or look at the food that you're consuming. Maybe you're nourishing your body.
So I guess the $1,000,000 question is, how do we get the perfect Rasadatu? What do we have to do then? What sort of lifestyle tips or tips can you give us to make sure that we can help ourselves get this radiant skin?
That's a great question. And the answer will be a little bit complicated because not complicated, but it can be vast. First of all, obviously, look after your digestion. And that depends how your digestion is now. So if it's imbalanced and it's too strong, then you need to balance it down. If it's too weak, then use digestive spices and bring that digestive fire up. You can have a fast, definitely have a detox. Then if your rasa dhatu is balanced, then in general, what foods like ghee, like milk, like dates, it's really nourishing, and it can bring even more nutrition to the rasa dhatu. Fresh fruit, really full of prana, like fresh, any kind of fresh, non-processed, freshly cooked meals. All food will nourish your body in a good way and support your rasa dhatu if it's generally balanced. If you have rasa dhatu kshaya or depletion, then you will need to again balance your digestive fire, of course, and also look at more nourishing things like a little bit of more nutritious foods, rich, oily, in a good way, yeah, like grounding meals and bringing nutrition through that. And if it's in excess, you need to balance your food intake, and the opposite, slightly less food, maybe a bit more dry in food, a little bit more dry in quality in food. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So I think we've got quite a few tips in there. So let's just put it into the context of aging. So as we're getting older, we've already said on many of our talks before that we're entering more into the Vata stage of life. So I'm assuming that possibly there is more kashaya, more depletion happening there. So how does aging affect Rasa Dhatu, and what can we do about it?
Yeah, so with age, what happens is that the digestive fire diminishes. That's just a normal state. What happens, it just diminishes. So we need to look after our digestive fire a little bit better, because what it absorbs and extracts from our food is going to also diminish then. We're not able to absorb these nutrients from food. And it's really well backed up by science as well, that the nutrient absorption from food is diminished with the age. And in Ayurveda, it's explained by the digestive fire. So the digestive fire is getting weaker, so it's able to extract the nutrients from food. What we need to do is to look after digestive fire by heating spices, a little bit of ginger, adding cumin and coriander to our food. A little bit of turmeric can be added as well. Drinking cumin, coriander, and fennel tea to boost digestion. Good sleep also is boosting digestive fire. Mild exercises, because it helps to circulate this lymph, the liquid portion of food, along with it. So it helps to circulate it along the body. So that's important as well. And as the rasa dhatu gets diminished, as you're right about that, that's the main reason for weak digestive fire. And also because we enter the vata stage of life. So these are the main two important reasons. So we need to look after digestive fire, look after balancing our vata dosha, and have more nutritious and nourishing foods in a healthy way, meaning like warm cooked meals, freshly prepared food, adding more ghee into because oily is really important. People often avoid oiliness, but it's important to have oily food, but healthy oils like Mediterranean diet, olive oil. So, but that this healthy fats is also key in healthy skin as we age.